So this could be good fun. Thames Rowing Club B on the Wyfold on the Berkshire Station. Commercial Rowing Club from over in Ireland. Open fours, no coxes. So the steering becomes really challenging.
Yeah, pretty even start from both crews. Thames, this being their B boat, with
there they are.
Their A boat having rowed in the finals of this event the last 4 years. So good pedigree in the coxless fours.
And there's the umpire you can hear. They'll be talking to Commercial Rowing Club.
Yeah, Commercial getting a little bit close there, but Thames with a good showing early doors.
Yeah, Thames got some good speed into the boat, and they've got a length up early in the race.
So Commercial over from Ireland beat the Thames A crew at the Met Regatta a few weeks ago, and were the top-ranked Wyfold 4 there. So perhaps if there was maybe a little bit of steering off the start we didn't see there, but a bit of work to do now.
Looking very focused. The Irish with lots of work to do. Good start from Thames Rowing Club B. It's great depth, isn't it, to have a B boat going like this?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen that over the last few years, the strength and depth at Thames. And I think as a result now, the strength and depth at London, sort of following them and chasing them down, it's great to see the level of club rowing over here in the UK, which I think really comes from the level of university rowing as well. A little bit more steering there now from the Commercial crew. Tom Stevens, McDara Allison, Mikey Fanning and Colin Brennan. 5 Henley Royal Regatta experiences before this between them.
So Marlow Rowing Club on the Wyfold in 2024. Thames Rowing Club, lots of victories in years gone by. This is the margin they have at this early stage against the Irish.
They look very composed, the Irish, I think. Thames crew, maybe the rating a little bit higher. Although you look at the looks on the faces, and certainly very relaxed there.
No nonsense. George Hawkswell in the stroke seat. And the red and white hat, you've got George Whitcomb. And behind, Orlando Morley. And in the bow, Cameron Murphy, you can see. So they're the 4 in this Thames Rowing Club B boat, and they are definitely enjoying the lead, but the umpire will be keeping a close eye on that steering. Don't want to come any further across than that.
Yeah, so Commercial are at the point now where you can just see their stroke side blades starting to dip into the wash, the puddles of the bow side blades of the Thames crew. And that'll give them less grip on the oar, and that'll mean they actually will drift further over into Thames's wash. It's a compounding effect. If you cop a little bit of wash, it gets harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, you've got perfect alignment there. You can see what Chris is talking about with those blades. And there, Commercial have made a deliberate move to the right of our picture, haven't they? Just trying to dip out of that.
Yeah, of course. And of course, it's not what you want to be doing. Every time you put on the rudder, it upsets the balance of the boat at break.
And look at Thames, though. The umpire's talking to Thames. He's got the white flag extended out to try. Look how far across Thames have come. They came with that. We saw in close-up the Irish making that move to get back onto their side of the water, and the Thames seemed to drift across with them. I suppose it's spatial awareness, and in many ways you follow what the other boat's doing, don't you? You keep that pattern.
Yeah, certainly. They're keeping an eye on the booms. They're also keeping an eye on the other crew and sort of keeping all those distances equal, or trying their best to. And certainly the further apart the crews are, like in this instance with Thames, quite a comfortable lead as they approach Rimmon. It does get more difficult to judge that.
You've got different things. So you mentioned the booms, I mentioned the opposition boat, but the one continual, if you like, the one stable point is the umpire's launch, which is always going right down the middle of the water.
And that's the official rule. That's how it's judged.
Yeah. So that's perhaps the best guide. You can just see Thames. It was like a dance, wasn't it? They both swept across the water to one side in perfect unison. But they sorted that out now, and Thames flowing along very nicely.
As you'd expect, the crew with plenty of Henley experience, 15 regattas between that Thames crew.
That's amazing, isn't it? For
a B crew.
A B, 4 of them, to have that many previous Henley Royal Regattas. So in the stroke seat, George Hawkswell, we've mentioned, now 29 years old. This is his 6th Henley Royal Regatta. You compare that to Commercial Rowing Club, to the right of your picture. That's a 3rd for in stroke seat Colin Brennan, but otherwise not much, just 1 appearance each previously at Henley's. So Thames Rowing Club B heading for the finish line in front of the enclosures now. The town is coming into view. There are all the Henley town centre landmarks. Beautiful leafy green.
Commercial have just narrowed that gap a little bit as we approach the enclosures. I don't think Thames have really let off the pace too much. I think it's still a little bit of work to do, but as we've seen in these Coxless Fours, anything can happen coming into the finish. About just over 2 lengths now.
Definitely, anything can happen at any moment. That's the joy of this. You mentioned right at the start, didn't you, that you get a bit of action. It can get a bit spicy in the early stages of the Wyfold in the Henley week.
Yeah, and Thames, of course, have benefited from that in the Coxless Fours. The visitors a number of years ago got a win over Cal Berkeley right at this point on the course.
Quite memorably. And just watching Thames is steering again. They're definitely coming out into the middle of the water, and the umpire won't stand for that, especially at this stage of the race, and especially as the Irish, the Commercial Rowing Club, they really are having a go at this. And we will look again at the Thames Rowing Club, who have drifted across into the middle of the water. Commercial Rowing Club, they were having a fight back there, weren't they? They were trying to narrow it. There's Sir Matt Pinsent, the umpire.
Doesn't look like to be much interest from Commercial.
I thought there might have been a raised hand, but no. I suppose for them, being aware of what was going on is difficult, isn't it? But there's no cocks in this boat, and it was all behind them.
Yeah.
So when they watch the TV replay later,
that might be
the moment they realise.
Yep.